Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about a new announcement that Binance made today about listing Perpetual Protocol or Perp in the innovation zone, right? So the announcement reads as follows: Binance will list Perpetual Protocol in the innovation zone and will open trading for Perp BTC, Perp BUSD, and Perp USDT trading pairs. Users can now start depositing Perp in preparation for trading, right? So what is Perp? Perpetual protocol is a decentralized perpetual contracts protocol made possible by a virtual automated market maker VAMM. On Perpetual protocol, traders can trade perpetual contracts with VAMMs without the need for counterparties. Perp is the native utility token of the platform and is used for platform governance and staking, right? So what is Perpetual protocol? It's basically a decentralized perpetual contract protocol. So basically the name says it all. It's a perpetual contracts protocol performed in a decentralized manner, right? It makes it possible, it makes its features possible using virtual automated market maker or VAMM. And on Perpetual protocol, if you're a trader, you would be able to trade perpetual contracts with VAMMs without the need for any counterparties, right? Again, pretty self-explanatory. And Perpetual protocol has a token called Perp token, which is the native utility token of the platform and is also, as always, the governance and staking token, right? So that's pretty much like a quick explanation on the Binance announcement page. As usual, let's go to the Binance research page to learn about what Perp protocol is, or to get a summary of what this protocol is, right? So the main highlight for the protocol is basically summed up in few words like follows: decentralized perpetual contracts protocol. So that's basically the main focus of this protocol, right? And if you see, Perpetual protocol is a decentralized perpetual contracts protocol for every asset made possible by a virtual automated market maker, right? So it's a decentralized perpetual contracts protocol, very straightforward, and it's for every asset. I believe it's mostly for Ethereum based assets or ERC20 tokens, made possible via the virtual automated market maker system, right? On Perpetual protocol, traders can trade perpetual contracts with VAMMs without the need for counterparties, right? Again, something that we already discussed before. With the power of VAMMs, if an asset has a price feed on chain, no matter if it is from Chainlink, Uniswap, or other oracles, Perpetual protocol can create a perpetual market for it. So basically, this is basically the main kicker for this project, right? If you see the virtual automated market makers or VMMs are very unique in a way that if the asset has a price feed on chain, so if it has if you take any token, for example, let's say YFI, for example, right? If it has a price on chain, right? No matter if it is from Chainlink, which is a popular Oracle provider, Uniswap, or other oracles, it basically creates a perpetual market based on what the price feed on the on-chain is, right? So that is going to be really useful for traders who are very well advanced and experienced in using perpetual contracts in a centralized ecosystem. Most people use centralized exchanges such as FTX or Binance or any of those other platforms in order to trade with perpetual contracts. But with Perp protocol or perpetual protocol or Perp token, you can basically do the same in a decentralized manner, right? In the future, anyone can create new perpetual markets on the platform and get a cut of the transaction fees akin to liquidity providers on Uniswap, right? Again, this is something that is currently not available. It will be available soon and is a part of the developing ecosystem for the Perpetual protocol, right? And in the future, like I believe in the upcoming iterations of this protocol, anyone can create new perpetual markets on the platform and get a cut of the transaction fees, similar to the liquidity providers on Uniswap, right? So that's basically a very cool feature for people who are looking to create their own perpetual markets based on price feeds that are available on chain. And in return, by creating a new perpetual market, they're basically entitled to a small portion of the fees that happens within that particular market, right? So that's a very interesting value proposition indeed, right? Perp is the native utility token of the platform and is used for the following purposes, right? So here are some of the main use cases for this token. You can use it as a governance token. Token holders can use their tokens to vote on the next token being listed on the platform or influence the protocol's direction, right? So as mentioned in the previous point here, it basically says that in the future anyone can create a new perpetual market. So by making a proposal, and if you're a holder of the Perp token, you are able to vote on not only people's proposals, but you can also basically see what tokens can be listed on the platform to create this new perpetual market, right? And that will decide the fate of this protocol. It's basically in the hands of the community, and whoever is holding this token will have the governance rights to this project, right? Staking. Token holders can stake their tokens on the protocol and receive staking rewards and a portion of the transaction fees, right? The stakers provide backstops for each virtual market. So again, a very straightforward use case. Again, every single DeFi project has its own native token with its governance and staking functionality. So for the staking functionality, token holders can basically stake their Perp tokens on the protocol and receive staking rewards. Again, pretty straightforward, and a portion of the transaction fee. So again, you are basically entitled to not only the staking rewards, which is, I believe, an inflationary reward that is provided to people who stake and maintain the network, but also you're also allocated a small portion of the transaction fees that happens in the ecosystem, right? The stakers provide backstops for each virtual market. So basically people who stake Perp tokens are providing this backdrop for each of the many virtual markets that are created within this ecosystem, right? So pretty strong value proposition. The VAMMs provide guaranteed on-chain liquidity for perpetual contracts, trading with predictable pricing by constant product curves, right? Again, basically, the virtual automated market makers of this ecosystem can provide guaranteed on-chain liquidity, which is something of a very big deal if you ask me, right? Because if you don't provide guaranteed liquidity, then again that can probably lead to more people moving, or there'll be no incentives for people to come and interact with the ecosystem in the first place, right? And with predictable pricing by constant product curves, so they constantly use reliable and constant product curves in order to predict the pricing of the ecosystem, right? Of the particular virtual market, right? So the VAMMs are also designed to be market neutral and fully collateralized. So these AMMs itself, the virtual AMMs, they are basically designed to be market neutral, so they don't really there's no issue with any bias, and they're fully collateralized. So that's a pretty comforting thing for people who who want to participate with high capital, right? Perpetual protocol currently supports 9 pairs: Aave, Bitcoin, Comp tokens, Dot, Ethereum, Sushi, Synthetics, Link, and YFI perpetual markets. So it currently, as of time of making this video, has 9 pairs, and these are the 9 pairs. As the ecosystem grows, and during the next few phases of this protocol development, people will be able to create their own perpetual markets, right, and increase the number of pairs on the ecosystem. The new pair is listed around once per week. So every time a week passes, a new pair is listed. The project has raised about 10.65 million US dollars from the following sale rounds. Basically, they have had 2 sale rounds: private sale round, and the public sale round, right? And for the private sale, they have apparently allocated 15% of the total supply at a price of 8 cents per perp, right? 8 USD cents per perp. And when it comes to public sale round, they have allocated 3.6% of the total token supply via the Balancers Liquidity Bootstrapping Pool, or LBP, right? So again, pretty good information to know if you want to know a little bit of a background for this project. Please click here for more details on the token distribution. Again, if you click on this information, you will be able to find more details on how the token is distributed, so that you can kind of like do your own research and understand the tokenomics before you invest your money in this token, right? As of March 19, which is today, the total supply of Perp is 150 million tokens, and the circulating supply is 19.07%, right? So again, if you see, the total supply is again slightly higher, or 50 million tokens higher than what I would personally consider as an optimal max supply. But some people may find this perfectly fine. Again, you are to choose you are to make your own decision, right? And the circulating supply is also about 19.07%, close to 20% of the max supply. So you can definitely expect a bit of inflationary trend that will cause for this token to slump in the short term, as I mentioned in pretty much all of my videos. And that's something that we'll discuss in detail when you go to the CoinGecko page for this protocol, right? So let's go to their website. So if you want to go to their website to see what their website is basically containing, and also if you want to read through the docs, obviously you can read through some of their docs from the Binance research page. They have very valuable links, but you can also go to their website perp.fi, which you can also find from the Binance research page, in order to access their website, right? So again, if you see, they have a pretty cool website, and it's pretty much in the dark mode, and it basically says decentralized perpetual contract for every asset, which includes BTC, ETH, all these 6 pairs that they mainly showed for the cryptos, and they also have pretty much for oil, gold, and other assets as well, right? So that is pretty cool. What makes Perpetual protocol special? So yeah, again, if you want to invest in this protocol, what would be the reason for you to choose this instead of some other protocol, right? So these are some of the selling features that they have. 20x leverage on-chain perpetual contract. So again, for people who are not experienced with leverage trading, I would not recommend this this platform, because this is mostly going to be for people who are experienced traders. So bear that in mind. If you are interested in doing leverage trading, I personally suggest you to get some training on a small test play money on either Binance or FTX or any form of a reputed centralized exchange before you try to participate in a decentralized perpetual contract exchange like Perpetual protocol, right? Because again, this is a very high risk project, not only for people who invest in the token itself, but also people who participate in the ecosystem. So I would like to provide that disclaimer to you. And again, none of the things in this video is should be considered as per financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research before you put any of your money on this token, or if you want to invest in this ecosystem and participate in the ecosystem itself, right? So 20x leverage on-chain perpetual contract. Traders can trade with up to 20x leverage, long or short, enjoy transparent fees, and 24/7 guaranteed liquidity, right? Again, these are some of the bold claims that this project makes. 20x leverage for a decentralized perpetual contract space is pretty cool in my opinion, and also you can long or short. You can also enjoy pretty much transparent fees, which basically means that you don't really have to pay a lot of fees depending on your situation, and you can get guaranteed 24/7 liquidity with this protocol, right? So that's a really good selling feature. Go long or short with any assets, right? Virtually any assets can be supported by a perpetual contract on Perpetual protocol, whether it's gold, fiat, Bitcoin, Bcash, Ethereum, ERC20 tokens. Again, obviously all ERC20 tokens are covered. XRP, EOS, Litecoin, Zcash, XMR, or something else. Perpetual protocol can support it all. Again, a pretty wide range of assets that can be longed or short. Again, you can even like create your own market, right? Virtual market, which is also a pretty cool thing, right? Lower slippage than other AMMs. Traders on constant product market makers like Uniswap suffer from higher slippages than traders on centralized exchanges because K is capped by the liquidity provider. K is capped by the liquidity provided. Perpetual protocols virtual AMMs can set K algorithmically to provide lower slippage to traders, right? Again, this is a little bit technical for people who don't really like overall like have a good understanding of AMMs, but overall this protocol aims to reduce slippage and provide 24/7 constant liquidity to its AMMs, right, through the virtual AMM feature, right, which is very interesting. If you want to access their mainnet, I suggest you to click this link here that states mainnet app is here, and you'll be able to see how the mainnet protocol looks like, right? How does Perpetual protocol work? So after the selling feature, now they are basically trying to a little bit explain in layman's terms how Perpetual protocol works, right? And they're doing this with this beautifully drawn chart here, or graph here. You can basically see how traders interact with the AMMs and developers integrate with the AMMs. You can also see people who are staking on the right. They earn rewards and they also can provide liquidity, right? And it's pretty cool. Perpetual protocol is composed of two parts: Uniswap inspired virtual AMMs backed by fully collateralized wallets and a built-in staking pool that provide a backstop for each virtual market. So again, to strip off Perpetual protocol and make it as simple as possible, it's basically consisting of two main parts, right? The first part is Uniswap inspired virtual AMMs, which we already know. It basically ensures that the slippage is low and ensures that there's constant liquidity in the protocol. And it's backed by fully collateralized vault. So the first component is backed by fully collateralized vault, and the built-in staking pool is the second component, which provides a backstop for each virtual market, right? Again, two simple parts for Perpetual protocol. So when it comes to traders, people who want to engage in the ecosystem, similar to trading on Uniswap, traders can trade with virtual AMMs directly without counterparties. Virtual AMMs provide guaranteed on-chain liquidity with predictable pricing set by constant product formula, right? Again, if you are a trader, you can definitely rely on their virtual AMMs in order to ensure that there's guaranteed on-chain liquidity and there is no counterparties involved, similar to Uniswap, right? So that's pretty cool for traders. When it comes to stakers, people who don't want to actually participate in longing or shorting in this ecosystem, but they just want to stake and get some passive income, you have an option here as well. Perp holders can stake perps to staking pool, and Perpetual protocol's insurance fund is guaranteed by perp stakers. Perp stakers collect transaction fees and in exchange for that must backstop for the system. So when you stake your tokens, you're basically providing backstops for the virtual markets, and in return you're provided a staking reward, and you're also entitled to a small portion of transaction fees that happens to the virtual market to which you're a backstop for, right? Pretty simple concept. You can learn more about how this works a little bit more in detail by clicking this link. So you can also subscribe to their bi-weekly newsletter if you want to get updates from this protocol on a bi-weekly basis. What is the utility of perp tokens? Again, this is some of the most common questions that people ask because they just want to know the utility feature of any given token of a DeFi protocol. So Perp tokens is a ERC20 token native protocol token. So basically it's an ERC20 native protocol token that runs on the Ethereum blockchain, right? You can stake Perpetual protocol tokens or Perp tokens to help provide a backstop for the protocol. In return, stakers are rewarded with part of the transaction fees plus staking rewards. Again, something that we already covered before. Governance, we already covered this before. So basically, governance and staking are some of the key features of the Perp token, right? I know it may sound like there's not a lot of utility for this token, but I do believe that for people who do a lot of trading, people who want to have a passive staking income, this token would probably be the most likely token that will be of interest to you, right? Strategic investors, again, this is something that will interest you guys because this token is obviously like partnered with Binance Labs. Binance Labs has invested in this project, and therefore that explains why this token was listed on Binance today in the first place, right? So any Binance Labs funded project has a high chance of being listed on Binance. I'll cover a few projects in the upcoming weeks, but at the same time, you just need to have that in your mind because that will definitely cause a price spike before you buy the token on the exchanges. You just need to make sure that if this project is worth investing, not only because of its strong fundamentals, but you should also see who are the investors in this project. So any project that you kind of like see Binance Labs investing in it, then there's a very high chance that it will probably be listed on Binance, right? Again, this pretty much is a good example for that. So Alameda Research, Binance Labs, CMS, Multicoin Capital, 3 Arrow Capital, Z Prime Capital, and Mechanism Capital are some of the big investors of this project. The team behind Perpetual contract, you can also see some of the photos of the workspaces of the people who are working actively to not only like bring in new systems for this protocol, but also who have worked hard to develop this protocol from scratch, right? Perpetual protocol is started by a team of crypto enthusiasts, originate from Taiwan with members all over the world, right? So that's pretty interesting. Perpetual protocol is live on the Ethereum mainnet. You can try that now by clicking on that button, right? If you go to the top right page, if the top right section of the page and click the three icons, the three lines, you would be able to see some of the other options available in this website. They have their docs which you can use to do your own research. I would highly recommend you guys to read through their docs and FAQs and maybe have a look at their blogs in order to see how active they are and what are the new proposals that they're making and how engaged the community is, right? And that's going to provide you more information on whether to invest in this project or not, right? So let's go to the CoinGecko page for this token. So the coin is currently ranked 170th by CoinGecko based on its market cap, and it's currently trading at $10.03 with an 8.5% increase in the past 24 hours, right? Again, not surprising, immediately after the Binance exchange listing. If you see the market cap, it's $289 million in market cap, a pretty low market cap to me, considering the fact that it is obviously focusing a very niche audience, mostly traders, and within the trader community, a few people will definitely get enticed by this project because not a lot of people do, not a lot of retailers do leverage trading, but there are a lot of whales who hold a significant amount of capital, and they would definitely find this project really undervalued, and they would start using these centralized perpetual contracts such as Perpetual protocol, right? Based on that, I believe that the market cap is still very low and it has a long way to go. It can definitely go to about 500 to 600 million dollars in market cap, and that can happen pretty soon in the next 6 to 7 months time period, right? If you look at the max supply, again, as we saw, the max supply is 150 million tokens. I'm not really that impressed, but I'm not really that worried as well, because again, there are tokens that there are max supplies that have basically like 100 billion, or sometimes even 10 to some tokens are very highly inflationary and they have about 1 trillion tokens in max supply. But compared to all those kind of protocols, and compared to protocols that have like 500 million tokens as max supply, this token is way better. Inflation is also pretty much like an expected given at this point, because of the low circulating supply in proportion to its max supply, which is something that you can find in many new projects. But again, it's just a short-term indicator of the price slumping. and it's not a long-term indicator at all. For the long term, I always look at the fundamentals and make a judgment based on that, right? You can also look at how the tokens are distributed. For the Dow Treasury, there's 19.9 million tokens. Transaction mining and staking rewards as 769,000 tokens. Ecosystem rewards, investor and team locks are 100.4 million tokens, right? Again, this is the majority of this is where the majority of the token constitutes, so that's pretty interesting. So if you look at the charts for Perp token, you can clearly see that the data is available since September 2020, and the token was trading at around $1.20. It had a very small spike at reaching a high of $2.47 before dropping sharply, and then it's pretty much been in the downtrend or moving sideways at the lower $2 or $1.50 range before January 2021. But after January 2021, it started like spiking up like crazy, and it reached its all-time highs of about $8 or close to $8, like $7.89 in that range. And then it had a sharp decline as well, where it had a local bottom of $4.62 before pumping all the way up to $7.49 in March 15th, and then shot up to $10 after the Binance listing, right? So you can clearly see that there is a lot of interest developing on this project. Again, it's very clearly undervalued, especially in the eyes of people who trade perpetual contracts way more often, and people who are more experienced investors who feel like this project is definitely offering them a potentially better deal compared to many centralized exchanges, right? For people who don't want to do leverage trading, which I highly recommend for any newcomers, or people who don't want to get exposure, who are comfortable doing leverage trading but who don't want to get exposure to this, they can still buy and hold the token and get staking rewards if they stake on the platform, right? When it comes to entry points, I personally will not buy this token at these prices. I'll probably wait again immediately after the Binance listing. There will be this huge spike, and maybe like after 24 hours you can see this huge dump, right? And that dump will kind of stabilize the price at around $8 or $7.50, and I could see that price going at that point, and that would be a really good price point to buy, right? So let's look at the Bitcoin comparative. Again, Bitcoin comparative is completely different to the dollar comparative charts of the Perp token, right? Again, recently we've been seeing several tokens that kind of have this similar chart when it comes to Bitcoin comparative versus dollar comparative, but this is one of the tokens that has a drastically different Bitcoin chart compared to the dollar chart, right? If you see on September 2020, the token price was 11,772 satoshis, and it literally shot up to about 20,000 satoshi in that range, and then it spiked down and reached the same price it was before, and then it had a very steep decline where it found like its local bottom at around at around this price point, where it was like 5,900 to 4,000 satoshi range, and it also went as low as 3,900 satoshis, and then it kind of went back up, stabilized a bit, went back down, and then on January it started shooting up, right? The interest in this protocol seemed to have originated from January, which is pretty interesting, and I reached its relative like second all-time highs of 21,000 satoshis, went back down, and after the Binance listing it's going up, right? If you see after the Binance listing, the Satoshi increase has been pretty much not that great compared to the dollar comparative, right? That's because of the fact that Bitcoin itself was going up in price, and therefore this token was not as pronounced. When Bitcoin prices goes down and the token price goes up, then you can see huge spikes in Bitcoin comparative, right? When it comes to the entry point, again, as I said, I wouldn't really buy these tokens at the 17,000 Satoshi price point for Bitcoin comparative. I'd probably wait till it reaches about 12 to 13,000 satoshis, and that will be a really good entry point for this token, right? So if you look at the exchanges, obviously it's available on Binance. You can buy it with Perp USD Tether. You can buy it with USD Tether. You can also buy it with Bitcoin and BUSD. You can also find this token on FTX, which is also a very reputable centralized exchange. But you can also find from decentralized exchanges such as Balancer and Uniswap. You can also get it from centralized exchanges such as OKEX, and I wouldn't really go below that, right? OKEX would probably be the tipping point for me for buying cryptocurrencies. But at the same time, if you guys have accounts in any of these other exchanges, by all means, please go ahead and feel free to buy this, again after doing your own research, obviously, right? So what is my verdict on this token? So would I buy this token? Again, I'm not really a leverage trader, or I'm not really focused on projects that just focus on trading and doesn't really have a lot of utility. This token definitely lacks a lot of utility, which I personally want to see in some of my projects that I want to hold. So that's one thing that doesn't really impress me a lot. Although the market cap is really low, I do believe that the max supply is something that I'm not really particularly fond of. Again, it's not too bad, but it's also not too good as well, right? I would like to see some scarcity in the tokens that I hold, and that would be one of my personal choices to choose. But again, this is just my opinion. Again, if you do like this project and if you want to invest in this project, again, by doing your own research, and by all means, please go ahead. But I'm just talking about my opinion in this video, and I personally don't think I will buy this token anytime in the future. I probably may change my mind in the future, but when I do, I'll probably let you guys know. But I'm not really happy with the small number of use cases that this token has. Plus, it's having a max supply more than 100 million tokens, which is something that I don't personally like. And the circulating supply is also relatively low, so there will be definitely short-term slumps of this token, which will make this token a bit more faded away from the crypto market immediately after its big hype is over. But after the bull market is done, tokens like this may have a high chance of crashing harder, and thereby you need to probably have a lot of compassion, and you need to have like diamond hands in order to hold on to this token with very little utility, and with very little other additional features that will make this token very unique to hold for the long run, right? But again, that's just my opinion. I still do believe that this project has utilities which can be seen by traders and people who do perpetual contract trading. But this token, for my taste, it's not for me, right? Again, that's just my opinion. Remember, guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.